Thanks so much for tuning in to BQ Prime. Let me start by wishing all of you and your families a very, very happy and prosperous Diwali. And I'd like to think that through this show, we'll be contributing to some of that prosperity in the new year, because Cracker Stocks is meant to give you the best ideas to invest in the medium term to long term. My guests are going to give you their ideas, and we'll discuss the fundamentals so that you're on the same page when you decide to press that buy button. Let me introduce my guest today. We've got Rahul Arora, who's the Chief Executive Officer of Nirmal Bang Institutional Equities, Amisha Vora, who's a co-owner and Joint Managing Director of Prabhudas Lilladher, as well as Sudeep Bandyopadhyay, who's a Group Chairman of IndiTrade Capital. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining in, and a happy Diwali to you, your teams, and your families. According to legend, Diwali also marks the return of Lord Ram to Ayodhya, and the city, according to legend, lit up and served as a beacon for Lord Ram to come home. We're seeing dark clouds gather across the world. The question is, a lot of people have said that India can be that beacon. The economy can remain resilient. The market can remain resilient. I want to understand from you what you think about this. So I will start with Sudeep, and then I'll go to Rahul, and then we'll get Amisha's view on all of this. But Sudeep, let's start with you.
Well, Alex, wish all your viewers a very, very happy and prosperous Diwali and New Year.
Will hold investors in good stead. Amisha, what's your view? I know it's tough to comment after so many things have already been spoken about, but do you anticipate, as Rahul says, that it's going to be difficult to make money, that a few important picks will be the most important thing to take into the new year?
So Diwali wishes to you and all the viewers. And of course, I've heard and I acknowledge the concerns, pros and cons of each of the previous speakers. But I feel that, when the COVID hit world and India, economy was in dire state. There was just no business, and markets kept on moving. So now could be the time when our economy is doing comparatively extremely well. After, I guess, almost a gap of 6 to 7 years, that when I'm speaking to corporates across the length and breadth of sectors, I have not come across a corporate saying that their business is not good at the moment, despite all the inflation pressures. So now is the time when economy may do very well, and at best, market could be range bound. The good part of the economy and the strength may not allow it to go down quite a lot, but the global fears and the reducing liquidity, both from global markets as also India, because we try to support our currency and suck out a bit of the liquidity, will keep a cap on the upside. But net, I believe both markets will give positive returns from here if one takes Diwali to Diwali, which is a very bold view, but yes, I do believe that. And I believe that while stock picking will be important, the choice from across the sectors will be very good, because we'll not see order books flowing the way it is from a very, very long time.
It's very interesting that you say that, and it lays the context perfectly for this chat, because each of you has picked 2 stocks, and I think we have quite a diverse set to speak about. I will ask each of you to speak about one stock, and then we'll go to the second recommendation. I will start with you, Rahul, because I think your first pick is what I thought was the most interesting, because PVR is the pick that you have first. And a lot of people have talked about the underperformance of PVR in recent times, because people are just not going out and watching movies. But there is expectation that things will improve, consolidation in the space, the merger, of course. And so this is, I think, something that you might have to have a little patience with, right, Rahul? But I'm going to go to the second one. And Amisha, this one is also kind of an all-weather pick, I think, apart from when the pandemic hit, because people were not traveling. VIP Industries is your pick. But it's not just bags for travel that VIP is focusing on right now. If you talk about Caprese as a business line, and they seem to be focusing more on exports as well. Is that why you picked VIP Industries?
So one, of course, is the entire portfolio and the way they want to focus. But the portfolio itself is aligning a lot with the bigger theme that of consumption, and the consumption which is experiential. People want to experience. And having seen India, I think that trend is just going to become bolder and bolder. Having said that, they, as what you very rightly picked, they are very, very bullish about the bag segment, the Caprice, and then they are relaunching with a huge vigor, with a new CEO, with a lineup with Manish Malhotra, and they are very, very focused on that. Even if we have taken just a 30% growth, management is expecting this to be a 5x in 3 years, which is really ambitious. I think apart from that, the important part is that because of the way now things are aligned with China, exports is a huge opportunity. And they are also tripling their franchisee centers across tier 2, tier 3. All this combined with the fact that the cost had been so much elevated currently, and the commodity prices are softening, plus their indigenization is increasing, I think augurs extremely well, both for a 35 and another 25% bottom line growth, zero debt almost, extremely high ROEs upwards of 30%. And so I think it's a very consistent CAGR story with high growth.
Yeah, and interesting, I saw the note that you guys have come out with as well, and it points out that certain changes in terms of subsidy structures in China are allowing for a larger pie to be taken by Indian manufacturers as well. So that's an interesting play. I'll come to selling is so ubiquitous as well, and everybody needs coffee. Or practically everybody needs coffee. I say everybody, but we're a nation of chai drinkers as well, right? But I'll go ahead and ask Amisha about her next pick, which has to do with Jubilant Ingravia, the specialty chemicals player. And it's a space that a lot of people have focused on, Amisha, in the recent past, specialty chemicals companies emerging from India. It's not like they didn't exist before, but a lot more attention being given to them. Why specifically Jubilant Ingravia?
First and foremost, I think the chemical sector, as all of us know, is doing very well. It was till now China +1 or competition to China, but the way energy prices are shooting up across the globe, and particularly Europe, where large part of production, specialized chemical production resides and also gets consumed, I think we have a much longer run ahead for chemical companies. And some of the key ones like Gujarat Fluoro or Naveen or Basel, I think will continue to do well. But we picked Jubilant for a purpose. We thought that, and we understand that a large part of their business composition is changing for good. From a commodity-driven business within chemical, a good portion is moving to specialty, which is almost 30-31% currently to 60-65% in 2 years' time. And that finally leading to almost a doubling of net profits will also command re-rating. So we thought that this is a story where we get good profit growths plus a potential to re-rate. And that's how we thought that we picked this within the sector.
Certainly. And it's an interesting pick as well. The final pick, and then we'll have a sort of a summation. The final pick, Sudeep, is also a household name and something a lot of people are familiar with, is Larsen & Toubro. So you've actually picked infra-related stocks. The second one, of course, is Larsen & Toubro. If I look at the last 10 years, though, a compounded annual growth rate in the stock price of about 13% in any sense. But do you anticipate that that growth is going to be significantly better in the near to medium term? In fact, it's a very complete array of stocks that you've picked, very diverse set of stocks that you've picked, but a few sectors very noticeably absent, Rahul as well as Sudeep and Amisha, We've not mentioned banking at all or financial names at all, and we've not mentioned IT, but I guess IT is a sign of the times. There will be times, of course, in the near future for us to talk about that in a lot more detail. I think that wraps up today's edition of Cracker Stocks, and they have indeed been an incredible list of Cracker Stocks. So once again, let me wish all of you a very, very happy Diwali. Thank you so much for joining us on BQ Prime.